Hello everybody. I hope everybody can see me. We're here in our Artzy Clubhouse, and we are streaming right here on our Facebook page as well as YouTube. So this is the first time we've done kind of the combination, so I'm hoping everybody can see us. So Missy's with me today, and she's going to kind of keep track and make sure that you guys can hear me okay, and we'll give everybody a few minutes just to make sure you guys could find us. So we are, so let me know if you're here. Leave a comment. We should be able to see comments in Facebook and on YouTube. So if the YouTube isn't working, we will be we'll copy the, we'll make another video of this and put it in a private YouTube space or something where you guys can watch this later. If you're on Facebook, you'll always be able to scroll back. But again, we're going to try and make it easier for you to go to one place to watch the videos and stuff like that. So bear with us today. Again, this is our first time. We're very excited to be here and very excited to be sharing with you. You know, you can always go to our regular Facebook page, on Dare to Be Artsy's regular page, and we have, I do a live video on Monday nights. This past Monday, we actually used your new stamp set there as well. Just we're doing a different project today. And okay, we've got some people on. Awesome, awesome. I hope you guys have started playing with your stamp set. Okay, this was so crazy. They all went out on the same day, and which was the 10th, and I actually heard from someone who just got hers yesterday, so the mail service is a little bit crazy, but hopefully they will start getting better. Maybe it was just the ice, working around the ice, I'm not sure. So again, I'm not going to start yet. I want everybody to get a chance to hop on. If you guys have your stamp and die with you now, that's great. If you want to practice some of the coloring with me, just get your alcohol markers out. You can use, or if you guys are used to the colored pencils, that's fine too. I'm going to be just sharing some of the techniques with the alcohol markers. Olo and Copic, they really work very similar. Olo marker is a little bit wetter, but I like them both. And so if you guys want to go ahead and while we're just giving everybody a few minutes to get started, you could go ahead and just stamp a couple of your snowmen if you guys want to kind of practice with me when we do the coloring part. So you guys can have that out and just read, I will probably keep this to, well, I'm thinking about an hour is what it will take, but we'll just kind of see and play it by ear. I've pre-cut some things ahead of time. And our goal here today is just to get you guys more inspired, give you some ideas. The cards, we're kind of doing 3 cards, and it's just to get kind of those creative juices going. So you kind of have some ideas on what you guys can do with the stamp set. I am so excited about our Clubhouse and the Facebook group, because you guys have been sharing the cards that you guys have been making, and that has been wonderful. It gives me ideas, and I think it really it's a safe place to share your ideas with everybody else in our community, and which I think is the best part of this. So I love it. I didn't want to just create a stamp and die club that you just get something in the mail and then you don't know what to do with it. You stick it in a drawer and you never pull it out. So hopefully that is inspiring you when you guys see some other people posting things. It gives you kind of some ideas. So this stamp set, our little Snow Awesome stamp set, I really wanted to put some sentiments on there that can be used for more, like, just every time I design a set, I try and include sentiments that can be used for more than one thing. So you can use this for any of your winter birthdays. You can use it for Christmas. You can, just thinking of you, you can kind of use it for a lot of different things. And that's kind of my goal when I design stuff. So I hope you guys are enjoying that. And okay, are you guys excited? Okay, will the club sets eventually be online? Yes, they are. So April, you guys always get the sets first and at a discount. So after I know that you guys have the set, then it goes on the website. So it is available now. But this workshop is private to you guys. And again, you guys get your discount and you always get it first. So that's the goal. Also today, if it is showing up in YouTube, which it kind of looks like it is, I think we're good. So today, that YouTube video is actually public, but in the future, it will just be available to you guys. So I'm still working out some of those kinks as far as how the YouTube part works. But okay, any other questions?
And I would just say that I don't know if the chats are gonna.
So
if someone's on YouTube, if they could test chat.
Yeah, if you guys are watching, if anybody here is watching on YouTube, or if you're here on Facebook but want to go check it out just to see and be our guinea pig, none of the chats are showing up yet on the YouTube. So yeah, if you want to go check over there for me and leave a comment, that'd be great. We just kind of want to see if that's going to work to be able to stream both at the same time. Again, we're kind of working out some of the kinks in that, so you guys can help me with that. So are you guys ready to create a card? Let's turn the camera around. All right. So I have already stamped a few things. And let's go ahead and we're going to do the coloring on some of these, but I want to start with some of the cards first. So I know it's kind of backwards, but yeah, but I'm just kind of hooked on wanting to start a few things first. So one of these I colored, but we'll color some together too if you want to stay tuned and watch some of the coloring techniques. But so the first one is, all of these cards are basic A2 size cards. So it's just, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 is our basic size. I'm going to show you guys, I'm also going to show you what you can do with this. It's like a little cluster. You can add this to a scrapbook page, but we're going to do kind of a little fun fold and add it to a card as well. So we'll do that one too. And Missy, I might have you go grab the scrapbook page. There, I have some that have the clusters and they're on that table in there, just so I can show them kind of how you can use that on a scrapbook page. So I'm very curious, how many are you? I know there's some scrapbookers out there. Let me know if you guys do scrapbook as well, because I do like to share some of those kind of ideas too. So we are kind of all over the place right now, but okay, this is the card. Nope, I lied. Wait. Yeah, let's do this one first. Okay, we're gonna do this. No, I lied. I'm gonna do this one first. Okay. I had this so organized. I actually spent a lot of time trying to figure out the whole YouTube thing today. So anyway, this is the card that we're gonna do, and we're gonna use a stencil. Now here I used our heart stencils, which I think is really fun. But since I already made a card with the hearts, I am going to use one of our other stencils, and it's our circles, to make little snowflakes. Then you can see what you can do, 2 different ways to do this. I have used just rectangles. Now you could totally just cut your rectangles any size. I like doing some layering, but these are the our rectangle nestables, which I like because it has this nice kind of contemporary pierced image in it. And then I used the dies that came in our set, and it has a banner in it, but I'll show you. So here's the little banner that comes with the snowman, but I'm going to show you how you can create a little banner even if you don't have this little cute little one, because some of you don't have both. Okay, so some of you say you do both card making and scrapbooking. Very cool. So then it'll be fun to show you some of those techniques. All right, so let's go ahead and do a little bit of stenciling. So if you guys want to stencil with me, I'm going to just use a really light blue, and I'm using the Pink Fresh Pouncers, which we do have on our website. They come like this, where you just kind of pull out I'm going to be using light blue, so I'm pulling out the one that's kind of a light blue color. Then you don't have to wash between uses, and what's great, it just sits like this. You could totally use your, any other kind of tool for stenciling. This is just kind of nice because it doesn't have little bristles that can get up underneath the stencil, so it's kind of a fun little tool. I don't like to share any extra little tips with you when I can. Okay, so the goal for this, instead of creating a whole big background, I'm going to put this behind it, where I put the dots on the whole thing, I like just doing a little bit to sit behind the snowman. So this circle has got the bigger circles and then these little circles, and that's what I'm going to use. This also has this one. It's a double circle stencil set, but I'm just going to use this one. So I'm going to just use our light blue sky, and don't go right on the edge because you're going to get a weird first. See if you can see me bounce off a little bit. And then I'm going to focus just in the center area. And I want this really light. Oh gosh, that's almost all I need. Wow, that's it. That's simple. Okay, then just to knock it back a little bit more, I'm going to rub a little bit more of this off and just do some little circles in the middle just to darken it up a little bit. There we go. And then he's going to sit on there just really nice. So I kind of like this look where it's just a little bit instead of filling the whole background. So that's all we need to do with that. Then I thought it would be fun we could either put it on that little background, which I think is nice, or we can go in with the red. Let's see which one I like better. We can do that. I'm gonna go with this blue one. So this is just from our little one of our little 6x6 paper packs. I kind of like that look. And just put this on there. My big gun. Okay, and then I've got our snowman and our little banner. So we'll stamp on that. And I'm going to pop him up. Now, I just did his coat right now. I have not done the snowman. This is what I wanted to share with you guys. Some little tips on coloring a snowman. You can either, this is B000, and the Olo marker, the lightest one is B2.0. So you can use either one. And what I'm going to do is, if I assume the light is kind of coming, actually since he's facing this way, I think I'll make the light source come from that direction. So if that's the case, if the light's coming here, it's going to be darker on this side. So I'm going to go a little bit under his hat, and then a little bit just above the scarf, and then brush in just a little bit. And then along the back side, underneath his coat, you could just take this nice little light blue line right under his coat. And then I'm going to brush in from that side. And you could do even a little bit along the bottom. And then of course a little bit on the bottom side of the little pom-pom. So by adding just a little bit of light blue, that gives him more shape. And if you want, you could do a teeny bit on that side, but it doesn't really need it. But if you don't have a really light blue, you can even do a really light gray. But the blue for snow, for you know, a snowman, which is kind of cold, I think the blue makes more sense. But just that little bit added a whole bunch. All right. And then we're gonna just pop him up with some foam tape. And simple card. Since the little card piece here stands out kind of by itself, I would put a separate piece on there to make sure that doesn't snag. The other thing you can do, and then same up here. Anytime there's a piece that kind of sticks out a little by itself, I want to put a little piece of foam tape on there. Okay. Another thing you can do with when you have a delicate piece that you want to pop up, but it's got pieces that are areas that are too small for foam tape, you can just use your die and cut this out multiple times and layer it together. It becomes kind of like chipboard. All right, and then I'm just going to put him in the middle like this. Now you could do a horizontal card too. We could do this one a little bit different. All right, I like that. Okay. Then for the banner, so let's go ahead and stamp our sentiment. Usually I would stamp the sentiment first and then die cut it, because it's just easier to keep in place, but that's okay. You can also use like the Misty sticky pads. So a lot of these sentiments are going to fit in this banner. And your Snow Awesome. Let's do your Snow Awesome. All right, let's get my head over here. Where? Okay. All right. Okay, do I just want black? Okay, well. And then when I stamped my snowmen, I used our Totally Black. It's our Totally Black ink. It's hybrid and it won't bleed when you're using alcohol markers. And then I'm going to layer this, my glue. So I just cut 2 pieces out because I wanted it to pop up a little bit. And I'm just going to stagger this. Okay, and then let's use some foam tape again. I love a lot of dimension. Okay. The other thing I want to add is maybe a little extra snowflakes. So on our die, it comes with a little, I don't see it in front of me, but it actually comes with a little extra snowflake. Oh, there it is. Whoop, there it is. All right. So I wanted to show you this little trick. So I took a piece of cardstock and I put on there some of the wide score tape. There's lots of different kinds out there. And I covered the back, and then I I die cut this 3 times or 4 times. And then what I did, I left it on here to show you how I do this. So when I ran it through, since it's detailed, I ran it through a couple times, and then, so it's kind of stuck on the paper, because it is. So what you do is you take your pokey tool, and I start to poke this out, but I don't want to poke too far. I don't want to like poke the whole thing out. So I'm poking this to loosen it up, and then I kind of turn it and wait until I can kind of see one of the pieces stick down, because I don't want to pull the whole thing off. Okay, once it gets started, you can pull it off. You can put this to the side, and then it stays on there. So I was able to do this and then keep it there until I'm ready to use it. So now these are sticky on the back. So I can easily then just peel this off when you're ready to use it. Make sure you poke out any of the extra little pieces. And then I can apply it wherever I want. And probably, I'm gonna put one here. And then, because I'm not sure where else I'm gonna use it, I'm gonna cut one of these in half. And I'm just gonna pull half of this off. I love things that look kind of like they're bleeding off. And this one's gonna be over here. I may come back and add some more to this, but when anyway, so they're already stuck down there, which is great. All right, let's just put this on here, and this card is simple and done. So again, here's just using the stencil to create this fun little background, and added a couple little snowflakes. So there's that one.
So did you show them your heart stencil?
Will you just go grab both of them? Okay, so now let's do, let me just show you the back of this, and then we'll do some coloring and cutting out. All right, so just regular A2. I used our 6x6 set again for this background. So just layering. These are kind of, you know, pretty simple, basic style of a card. But just by layering, it adds a lot of dimension to it. Thank you. Missy went and got the stencil. So these are the 2 stencils. This is the heart one. It comes with the 2 layers, and then this is the circle one. I even showed you kind of what they look like on the back. So yeah, so that's our double stencils, which I think work great for anything. All right, our rectangle nestables are great because they have the stitch. So I'm gonna go ahead, you could pop this up, but I'm just gonna put this layer flat too. Okay, then I cut a piece of white. Now I love, and this isn't meant to just totally sell everything, but I love our wavy backgrounds. I mean our wavy slimline dies. I use this one a ton because it gives you really short waves. This is a much bigger one that's better for a bigger area. And then this is the grass that I think is going to be handy, especially for our next stamp set that you guys don't know what it is yet, but it's a spring one. Okay, but so I use those, but I also wanted to show you, if you don't have one of those and you just want to create a nice mountain, I did cut it out with the stitch. Okay, then bigger scissors are usually better, but that's okay. I'm just, if you have big scissors, it's one big cut, which is great, but I'm just gonna go ahead and just kind of turn my paper at the same time. All right, so there's a really simple cut, but because it has the stitch around the edge, it just looks a little more finished. So I just kind of wanted to show you, if you don't have something like that, you can still create this nice little look. All right. Then I'm gonna pop that right on here. So see, it has that continued stitch around, which I think is really nice. All right. Then we can add him. We can cut another one. The other thing I wanted to show you, remember the banner that we used on this is from your die. If you don't have that, a simple way to create a banner is, you don't have to get too hung up with being perfect. There's the way I do it is I just eyeball where the center of this is. Instead of start chopping, eyeball the center, make a little snip up to, you know, up about 1/8 of an inch. Then you have an end point. So then you can go from the corner to that point and from the corner to that point. And then that gives you a pretty even banner. And I'm going to do this from both sides. Again, I love the die, but if you don't have the die, this is an easy way to create that look. And there's Nobody Like You. I think this one's just going to have that one snowman on it. The other thing I did here is I cut that flush so it runs off the edge, which we could do. Maybe I will do that. So I'll have that banner coming in just like that. Cute. More dimension. Okay. Since the snow mountain is up high, I'm going to keep the bottom of him flat, but pop up the card. Any questions? Good. Okay. Did we get any comments on YouTube?
No.
Okay.
So I don't know if it's just not showing.
Okay, we'll double check on that. So I apologize for, oh, well, you guys are all watching here, so, but I will apologize for those if the YouTube thing's not working. Okay, so did you see what I did? I put foam tape on the top part and just glue on the bottom because the mountain is already high, so I want it to be at the same, kind of the same height. There we go. Yeah, looks cute. Should we add a snowflake in here too? You know what we can do is add one off of this side. And I don't even know that we need it. We have all the snowflakes in the background. I don't know that we need it. So anyway, so that is the other one. Again, here it is using both of them. So that's another look. All right. Now let's go ahead and I want to go ahead and color one of these up for you guys. And then I'll show you what we're going to do for the other card. So let's zoom. You want me to zoom in a little bit here? Okay. So we're going to use a couple different colors. I'm going to start with my lightest again for my I'm going to use the Olo marker, and for some reason I usually always use the light from this side, so I'm just because that's how, I don't know why, but that's how I usually like to do it. I am going to put a little bit underneath his hat, and then underneath the coat. Should I be using the other snowman since I already did this one? Let's do this one.
And it's working on there.
It's what?
Came through.
Oh, yay, very good. All right, cool. Let me show you. So that's really light, but let me just show you. Where's our other? Well, that's all right. I think we did. If you have, well, that's really dark. If you have one that's really dark, you can still do it. Just do it a little thinner.
Question, can we use the January discount code through February 8th for order to be sent with Clubhouse order?
Yes. Oh, great point. Okay, so what we're going to do is, yeah, the code will last until about the 15th of the month, so there's some overlap before you get your next code. And if you guys order between the 5th and 9th of the month, we will be able to watch for those and add them to your order, and then give you a discount on the shipping, or if you get free shipping, then that'll be included in the shipping, so you can save on shipping by adding during that time. So it's hard for us to do, like, if you're ordering at any random time during the month, it's a good chance we'll miss that's going to go with your order. But we're going to definitely, between the 5th and 9th of the month, we will be watching for those duplicates for our team members, to make, to see if you guys want to add to the order. Also, we will be putting out, that's got a lot of color in it. I like that. We'll also kind of give you a heads up if there's something else we're going to use in this is also here, I'm talking at the same time. This is Olo 1.5 and 1.7. We're going to kind of give you a heads up on what the workshop would be next time. Like, this one is all simple cards. You didn't need any fancy dies. But we'll kind of give you a heads up if we're going to do something else next time. One thing I know we're going to do is our impossible fold die next time. Use that die, but I'll share that with you in our on our Facebook page and email. So if you guys do want that, that's totally cool. You don't have to. You'll still learn stuff even if you don't use that die. So I put the question.
And then with alcohol markers, do you need to have the colors that are close in shades?
Yes. So there are so many rules that I break all the time. With Copic, if you are like, Copic certified and are going to be really picky, it's called BG72. It's not really 72, and there's a whole long explanation for that we won't go into. But so you would want, if you wanted to blend in the perfect world, you would have BG74 or BG70. Usually they say do it 2 steps down or 2 steps up. If you want it more subtle, just go 7.3 or 7.1. That's kind of the Copic world. I will usually get something at least close to those first 3 letters, and then have the numbers on either side of it if you're going to use 3 tones. For the Olo, this is 1.5. I would want a 1 point something. So this is 1.7. If you wanted it closer together, 1.6 or 1.4. So go either side. That's, again, in a perfect world. I was doing a green, which we might do. I'll show you how I did this. I actually used these 2 colors. So I used a Copic and an Olo together. So if you just get some shades, you can practice it, but if you don't have every shade, don't worry. You can still make something look good. So yeah, like I said, I break the rules all the time. You know, yeah, just play with it. If it doesn't work, you're like, oh, okay, it's paper. Just, you know, you can just sample it and then go. But that's, yeah.
Is there a color lifter for the Olo pens?
There is, and it is, you want to grab it? It's the very top row. These, I do have all the Olos, and we will be putting them on the website. I don't have them on there yet. But yeah, and we will. But I do like the Olos. I'm just gonna add a little bit of blue to the pom-pom. And I kind of want to have another color, not just red. Okay, here's a good example. This is YO 2.3. Well, and then I put O 2.4. I just stuck those together with my Olos. You can, on Olo, they come, if you didn't know this, they come individually. This amount of ink in one Olo is the same amount of ink as a Copic marker. These are a lot more juicy. Yes, that's it. Here is, it's called Zero. That's the kind of the colorless blender version for the Olo. So you can kind of use that and it kind of takes away some of the color if you make a mistake. Anyway, you buy these by the half. It's $4.10 for a half as opposed to about an $8 or so Copic, but it's the same amount of ink. Every other alcohol marker has a felt, inside there it's a felt tube, and that holds the ink and that flows into the tip. The Olo is free flowing. There's no felt in it, so you're going to use every single drop of the liquid of the ink that's in here. So that's what's kind of unique about it. So you're getting a better price and more ink, and then when you buy two, you get a connector and they connect and you can mix and match and create your own ends. So that was a whole lot to tell you. We will, I'll probably be doing a marker class. I don't know if I love the yellow with the red, but that's okay. And then I'm going to take the orange, just add a little bit there, a little bit there, and then go back with my lighter color. But those weren't stepped, you know, those weren't colors that were right next to each other, but I think they still work. So here, let me bring it up to you a little bit. So again, break the rules. I think that's still look cute, kind of a gold look to it. So I think that's fun. He does need color on his little, there we go. All right. Now, what I'm doing on this other card, I just layered this up. I took a scrap piece of paper, cut a circle out of it, added a little tag, and we can do that. We can just create, one. I'll probably go ahead and color this other guy up too, but I'm going to show you how to make this card, and then we can color these up if you guys want some more coloring tips.
So Ellen uses Spectrum Noir, and Pam has some of the Copic refills. Have you used them?
So the Copic refills, yes. I mean, you get the Copic. So with the Olo, you can just get, you can get a refill that just doesn't come, and you just substitute out the tip of it for it. Oh, the other thing to let you know is Copic tip is the same manufacturer that does the Olo tip, but Olos are made in the United States. So that's the other kind of benefit to that. I do use the tri-blends a lot. So again, I kind of use everything, and sometimes I even use this when I'm using the other one. So I think these are good markers too. These are probably my three favorite. There's a lot out there. There's Tombow. I just don't think Tombow blends as well for me as these three do. Anyway, so I'm going to show you some ideas on how to create a card with this. Oh, where's the scrapbook pages? Okay. 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 This I think is really fun. If you're a scrapbooker, I like to create these little clusters. So we're going to add this cluster to a card. So it's just taking scraps and you're creating an embellishment for your scrapbook page. So I colored him up, I put a tag on here, and I made this kind of random cluster. Here's a couple more clusters. Not using this stamp set, but I just kind of want to show you something for your scrapbookers. Again, I took a bunch of scraps, layered them up. I can add this to a card easily. This one's a little bit big, but can add it to a card. Here's another one. I love this one. Cute, cute. So again, I call these clusters. So I have them ready. If I'm going to scrapbook, they're ready to go. If I want to make a card, ready to go. Look at this. Just a simple way to create a card with this little cluster. So, and here it is on a scrapbook page. So okay, you can't see the whole page. There it is. So again, for you scrapbookers, look how fun that is to create this little page with this little cluster. Obviously the colors aren't working for this, but take this, look at that, how cute that is. This one has kind of a, not a full cluster, but you can see how we can add this little embellishment on a scrapbook page to do, yeah, so that kind of look. Again, I just kind of wanted to share that with you. We are going to add this little cluster to a card, and then we'll finish coloring this up. Yes, I am not doing this in any like perfect order. That's just my brain. Just doesn't work orderly. Okay, so fun card. This is an A2 size card, and I'm just going to score that in the middle and fold the top back. Okay. This is a very easy format you can do for a lot of things. Open it this way, we're going to do it the other way. I just cut down some pieces. This again is from our little Holidays 6x6 paper pack, but there's enough in there that you don't have to use it just for Christmas. So, oh my gosh, totally sticking to me. Okay. And this again is from that same little 6x6. I love this snowflake pattern. Oh gosh. There we go. Okay, then we can take this cluster and put it on. We're just going to put glue on the top half of this. So you need to kind of mark where it's going to be. So just make sure I'm going to line it up around there. So you kind of draw a little line. And I'm only going to put glue on this top. Let's kind of dry it out a little bit. Okay. My little tip, the rubber band on your glue. That's a good place to put it so you don't lose it. So now this creates this really fun card. And then I just had this circle already cut out. So I'm just going to put that. You just want to double check, make sure it's hidden. You could do a bigger piece if you wanted to, but I kind of like the circle. easy. Put a sentiment on there. I don't think we need to right now, but you can definitely go in and put a sentiment on there. And then you guys have this teeny little heart, and there is a heart die. So what I'm going to do with that is I'm going to put a teeny piece of foam tape behind that. Okay. Smaller. There we go. And then I'm going to put it just below the heart. Now that's popped up a little bit, so now this will sit just like that. Isn't that cute? So a really fun, simple way to take a regular card and just make it a little bit more unique. So that's that. And we're doing great on time, so let's go ahead and color up another one of these so you get some more ideas. And let me show you, actually before we do that, because I don't want to totally run out of time. Also, yeah, let's do that. Let me show you on Monday night, if you guys haven't joined us on Mondays, Monday Live I did a couple more cards using our set. So here it is on a slimline card, and then and then using our little sentiment on the inside. And then here is that kind of the same, almost the same format as that, except instead of folding it back on itself, see what we did here? We just folded it this way. This one, it starts out this way. You put your score line in there, and then it pops up this way. Still has something that pops up so that it still rests on that. So again, very easy way to take a very simple format and change it up just a little bit. Okay. So let's go ahead and just color. We'll just do a little bit more coloring. And let me know if you guys have any questions.
They appreciate the tips and tricks.
Good, good, good. All right, this one I'm just decided we'll go ahead and use the Spectrum Noir color. So this is the 3 shades of green. We have some of these also in our store. And I'm gonna just use the green as the main color here. So with this one, color that too. With the Spectrum Noir, I tend to do more circular motions instead of streaks. Just seems to blend it in a little bit better. So I always go in with the lightest. Some people like to start dark. So I'm going to start light. I'm going to go to the darkest. Again, I just typically do my light from this direction. Just be consistent, like his face and stuff I did it that direction, so I kind of have to make sure I continue doing it that way. Bottom and the left side of his pocket. Do I need to zoom in again? Nope. There we go. And then you can take the medium color, add a little bit more. I go over the dark and come in just a little bit from the dark. Again, with the Spectrum Noir, I tend to do the circles. Again, I'm going over the dark and then just coming back in. And then I'm going to go back with my lightest color. And now I'm going to go over the whole thing. This is using 3 shades. A lot of times, especially in a small area, I may just use like the light and medium color. I may not even need that extra dark color. It just depends on how dramatic you want it to look. By coloring in the whole thing again, that really blends it back. So let me show you that. See how nice it blends? Really pretty good. And then I am totally winging it on colors here. I didn't pull out everything. Let's just we're gonna just add some brown in here, and should we go blue? I'm trying to not make it too Christmassy, so okay. So again, I use 3 colors for the green, but I'm just using 2 for this. And again, the Olo is really wet, so you really don't need to do the circular. You'll have enough ink in it. You can just hit it pretty lightly. Okay. Also, if you guys have Olos, the Copic has 2 ends to it, so and then tips dry out pretty quickly. The Copic lid is on really tight, just to keep it. I like it. It keeps it secure or whatever. But when you pull it off, the suction kind of pulls the ink forward. So that's why this is really wet. The other day I was doing it, and between every color I kept putting the lid on and off every single time I messed with it. And then it wanted to suck more ink out all the time. I actually talked to a gal from Olo because I asked her about it, that got really drippy. And she said, you know, did you take your lid on and off a bunch of times in a row? I was like, yes. And she said, oh, that's why. So if you're going to do a whole big area and you're going to use this, just put the lids to the side. I mean, you literally could just do this and just keep coloring, blend, and don't have to worry about putting the lids on right away, and it'll stay wet, and you can just keep going back and forth. Then just make sure you know which one, test it before you put your lid back on, so you make sure you get it on the right side. But again, it stays really wet. Just if you're finding that it's pulling too much ink out, that's why. So I thought that was really helpful. Okay, well, I don't think we need to color these up anymore, but you kind of get the idea. I hope that helped. I hope those were good tips for you guys. And let me see, was there anything else I was going to share with you guys? Let's turn this back around. And there we go. Missy slid out of the way. So any other questions? I hope you guys had fun with that. And I can't wait for you guys to see the next stamp set. So it's so hard for me. I'm the worst at like keeping secrets. So this is actually really hard for me to not like go in and show you everything. Also, we have a new big spring collection coming out that's in addition to what you guys are going to be getting. So I'll be excited to share that with you too, because we just sent the stamps and dies off for manufacturing this week, and I'm designing paper for that collection. So we have that coming for you guys. Anyway, keep checking in with our Artzy Clubhouse group. I'm going to update the calendar again because when we were kind of looking at, some of you had probably seen the link to the Google Calendar. Was it a Google Calendar? Or anyway, it's a calendar link that you guys can have, and it shows like when this class is, the workshop is, and a few of the chats, and when we ship and all that kind of thing. So we've set out an initial calendar, and then we kind of got to thinking we really want to have a chat closer to when we're going to do our workshop and after you guys have already gotten your stamp set. So we're kind of updating that calendar. So if some of you have already put those dates out there, it's going to kind of change every once in a while. When we update that calendar, we'll put a new link in the Facebook group to say, hey, we kind of have a new calendar happening. And we'll get better at that email. I know you guys were wondering about today's class. I was hoping to have the link to the YouTube thing all figured out ahead of time to send it in that email. That's why it came out kind of late, because we were still working out the kinks on that. So we'll get better as we get going, and thanks for being part of our founders group. So I'm so excited about it. Again, keep posting what you guys are making. I love that. It's awesome. I know we talked before also about doing a Zoom call. I think the workshop we're going to keep in here and in YouTube, but I think we are going to do some Zoom chats so I can actually see you guys, and it'll be a nice casual format. So keep watching for that, because I know a lot of you mentioned that you kind of like that idea of doing the Zoom thing. So we're going to do it since you guys asked for it. So keep the posts coming, and I will go back and read everything and answer any questions you guys have. And I think that's it. So I will see you guys again soon, and I'll meet